peaceful, with the elections expected to end on the 6th of February 2026. Honorable Chair and Honorable Committee members, I want to thank you for the continued support to UPF in the allocation and mobilization of resources, including supplementary budgets, that has enabled us to implement our mandate as enshrined in the 1995 Constitution, including policing the general elections. Chair, this notwithstanding, in the financial year 2026-27 budget, there are indications that UPF budget will be reduced by close to 90 billion shillings from the current budget of 1,250 billion to 1,160 billion in the financial year 2026-27. And this definitely will affect critical areas. That includes provisions of uniforms for police officers, fuel, oils and lubricants, feeding in operations, provisions of additional transport for areas that did not get in this financial year, and maintaining the transport equipment that has already been procured, and also the issue of maintenance and training for CCTV. Chair, this notwithstanding also the investment already made by the recruitment of 10,000 PPCs who will need to be fed, who will need to be accommodated, and who will use utilities. Our priorities for implementation in the next financial year include, among others, improvement of welfare, especially provision of accommodation. Chair, you have talked about accommodation. This financial year, we have started to construct 1,200 housing units in Naguru. And the challenge now here is that we change the plan. Because when we are constructing in the city now, we cannot talk of low cost. It has to be high rise. And that means the cost and the budget has to go up. So all these 1,200 housing units are going to be 4 level in terms of height. But we are also thinking of reviewing, because of the shortage of land which is now coming, we need again to push it a little bit higher so that it can accommodate more personnel. And also, of course, renovate some of the existing structures which are in the countryside, because we still have a number of structures that still have asbestos sheets that needs to be replaced with iron roof. Chair, we also need to continue implementation of the sub-county policing model to improve service delivery and enhance village security. Chair, one of the members has pointed out, and he's appreciating that we are on ground. Actually, this financial year, we are constructing 200 sub-county police stations countrywide. But this is just the beginning, because as you are aware, we have 2,190 sub-counties and town councils. And we need to be there so that we also support government programs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The information the IGP is giving is so important, but me, I don't see it in my...
In the notes?
But I have some write-up to the effect.
Because we need to have that write-up, because that information is so important.
Okay.
Chair, we shall continue with providing uniforms. Chair, we had issues previously where we were only providing a single pair of uniform to our personnel. But what we are doing now is to provide a complete set of 2 pairs of uniforms, including the boots, including warm clothes, T-shirts,
to all,
and socks. Yes,
To all?
To all. We give a package.
Irrespective of rank?
No.
Thank you.
To all. So we still need more funding so that we are able to go round so that everybody gets. And then, of course, we shall have additional operational vehicles. We procured a few for the elections, but we need all the units to have at least a vehicle per district, and also the regions to have vehicles. Chair, we are also expectant to expand the coverage of CCTV. Chair, as you know, right now, our thinking was if we had phase 3 of the CCTV, then some of the gaps that have been identified would be filled so that we have a complete coverage of CCTV. But since phase 3 has not yet been implemented, we still have those gaps. Chair, we also intend to complete construction of the data analysis center at Kiburi and fencing of all police land. Chair, this financial year, we started with Kiburi, we went to Naguru, we are moving to Zambia, eventually to Kireka, and cover the entire country so that we improve on security and also reduce on encroachment on police land. Chair, one thing I wanted us to, the committee to note is that the programming approach to budgeting is affecting policing of other essential areas which are not covered under the governance and security program. Chair, as you know, we are cutting across our services to the other programs. Like fire prevention and rescue services is under the regional program of local government. We are there in oil and gas. We are there in traffic and inspection. But all this falls in the other different programs. Now, when we go to governance and security, they tell us, no, that belongs to another program. And it has made it very difficult for us to harness resources. There's a time we had a meeting and an understanding with Ministry of Local Government where they bought for us equipment for fire fighting services. But now that seems to, this programming approach seems to have made them to back off. So it would be important that we have discussion with some of these programs so that since we contribute to their program, they should also be able to support us. Chair, the force remains committed to delivering its mandate and maintaining peace and stability in the country. With that, Chair, allow me, through my minister, to invite the accounting officer to present the detailed BFP and responses to issues that were raised by the committee. I thank you.
Okay, most welcome. So please, the accounting officer.
Chair, in addition to what the Inspector General of Police has raised, I would like the committee to note that the perennial underfunding that we've been talking about here, again has crippled us in terms of what we are supposed to provide. And like last time you noted, areas may not go away as you had warned us before. For instance, during this election exercise, we recruited 100,000 SPCs, and the budget was not sufficient to cater for their feeding, and we still have them. I'm sure you are seeing those people. We have that issue. Then secondly, Chair, the vote has been getting supplementary funding within this year. It was our prayer that we maintain the budget at that level after the supplementary, but now, to the contrary, we have experienced a reduction of 90 billion from the IPF of this year compared to the one of next financial year, meaning we are going back to where we were before. we request that the committee takes note of what we have been receiving as supplementary and it's maintained as part of our budget for the next financial year, so that we don't have to keep coming for the supplementary requests and making justifications.
Maybe, Chair, I request that the Undersecretary clarifies on the supplementaries that the Uganda Police Force received, so that it is justified to be maintained on the budget.
Yes, Chair, it is there in the financial performance, which I'm going to present shortly, just shortly. I just wanted to emphasize these areas, so because we need your support. And Chair, because of that, I wanted to note, to point out the areas which have been affected by the cuts. One of them is wage. You know, the force has increased by 10,000, and we are seeing a reduction in the wage. The non-wage also has been reduced by 43 billion, which affects areas like feeding, in operations, fuel, again uniforms, staff training, and maintenance generally, which includes the transport equipment, CCTV, and others. So, Chair, we also need to point out that the Cabinet approved funding for the sub-county policing model. In this financial year, we were supposed to receive 241 billion, out of which we received only 50 billion. And the 50 billion we have been able to open 200 sub-county stations with that money. If we got enough support and we get all the 241, it will make a very big impact in the country as far as the sub-county policing model is concerned. And Chair, also, I would like to thank the committee for the support we got. Now the police force, including the recruits, has increased to 58,000, but still the police population ratio remains high at 1 to 819, even when we include those. So we still have a prayer that we keep recruiting on replacement basis, so that even the next financial we can replace. Attrition remains at 1,000 per year. So now with that background, let me go to...
Chair, maybe I'm lost, because we want to see how we can be of help to the entity. The Undersecretary is talking of reduction of budget, especially on wage.